Last-minute changes in a murder case causes a sentencing to be postponed. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Rochelle Metzger.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. A tragic accident. We'll have that story in just a moment, but first we have some breaking news. A tragic accident in Capitol Heights claims the life of a scrap metal yard worker. It happened about 10 this morning at the Joseph Smith & Son Scrap Processing Company. Police say an employee driving a truck at the company property put the vehicle in reverse and unknowingly struck a co-worker. The unidentified victim was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. Well, he was one of 3 men involved in the kidnapping and murder of an Alexandria community activist whose body was tossed into a Fort Washington well 2 years ago. A judge expected to sentence Yvonne Newman in court today, but that didn't happen. Instead, his hearing was postponed. Newman previously accepted a plea agreement that required him to testify against Tyrone Lewis and to admit his involvement in the murder of Lenwood Harris. When Lewis stood trial, Newman broke the agreement. Another plea deal was rendered, but a judge did not accept it when Newman voiced concern about his legal representation today.
Over the course of the pretrial preparations for the Tyrone Lewis trial, Mr. Newman's story changed as a result of him not being truthful and as a result of the new information that came out, which raised his level of involvement in the overall crimes that had been committed. That was a violation of his plea agreement. So in exchange for violating his plea agreement, we now had a new plea and a new sentence where he would plead guilty to second-degree murder, which would have him admitting his involvement in the murder and in the entire plot. And then he would receive a sentence of 90 years to spend all but 35 years.
Now, the third man involved, Linwood Johnson, testified against Lewis, who will be sentenced next week. Johnson and Newman will be sentenced at a later date.
A jury finds a Beltsville man guilty of first-degree assault, reckless endangerment, and several related charges. Prosecutors say Kelly Gillis fired shots at 3 county police officers outside of Hyattsville's Galaxy nightclub in July 2012. Before the events unfolded, Gillis and 2 others were escorted out of the club for disorderly conduct. A short time after, officials say they drove back and opened fire at police, piercing one officer in the leg. Gillis will be sentenced in January next year. He faces a maximum sentence of 55 years. As we've reported in the past, parents from a local middle and high school have united in a fight against plans for a new super Walmart in Oxon Hill. The retail giant wants to set up shop near John Hanson Montessori School and Oxon Hill High. Parents like Nicole Nelson are against the proposal, citing concerns about the safety of students and zoning for the space.
Right now, we're trying to send a message to our elected officials that they're going to set a dangerous precedence if they allow the Walmart project to go forward. The Walmart wants to bend the rules and allow to build at 100,000 square feet when the law requires them only to build at 85,000 square feet. We are also concerned that it could jeopardize public safety because the Walmart would like to use county-owned land that is designated as a fire station to build an additional parking lot because currently they do not have enough parking for that site.
Parents from John Hanson Montessori and Oxon Hill High will hold a rally tonight from 6 to 7 p.m. in the 6300 block of Oxon Hill Road.
Gubernatorial candidate Doug Gansler is once again under fire, this time for being present at a party over the summer during which underage drinking was taking place. The Baltimore Sun published a photo showing the Attorney General in the background as teenagers are seen dancing and drinking. Gansler says he went to the beach house in Delaware as a parent to talk with his son and didn't see any inappropriate behavior. At a news conference today, he defended his actions but also says he might have investigated more if he had to do it again.
I wasn't there to, I wasn't the chaperone, I wasn't staying in the house, I wasn't looking, my thought was that whether my child was there, make sure he got home. If I'd seen anybody else's children in danger, any girls that were, drunk or anything like that, clear evidence to me that there had been drinking, maybe I would have done something different. And in hindsight now, I should have probably assumed there was drinking and, talked to the chaperones about what they thought was appropriate. But I wasn't there to make a decision whether it was drinking or not, and what, and that wasn't really what I was there.
Now, according to The Sun, several participants confirmed that many at the party were drinking. The event was chaperoned by several parents. Meantime, about a week ago, a report surfaced accusing Gansler of abusing the power of his police escorts and ordering state police troopers to speed to get him to his destination on time. Gansler has denied those accusations.
The man who authorities believe shot a law enforcement officer has been arrested. 29-year-old Stefan Prather is believed to have shot a Howard County police officer in the 9500 block of Washington Boulevard in Savage yesterday. Prather fled the scene immediately after the incident, but was found walking along Route 1 in Laurel this morning. He's being treated for a gunshot wound that he sustained after Wednesday's incident. The wounded 30-year-old officer has been identified as Stephen Houck. He was transported to the University of Maryland Shock Trauma Center, where he remains in serious but non-life-threatening condition.